So I'm going to call our regular December 20th, 2022 meeting to order for the Batavia Park Board of Commissioners at 7:02. Lindsay, please call the roll.
Riley?
Here.
Connolly is absent. Tillman?
Here.
Gray? Here. Callahan?
Here, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
There are none.
There are none. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approve the meeting minutes of the special board meeting of November 15th. Approve the meeting minutes of the regular board meeting of November 15th. Approve the meeting minutes of the executive session meeting for November 15th. Approve the meeting minutes for the special board meeting of November 29th. Approval of the paid expenditures, expense approval summary, investment summary, income statement, purchases, and ordinance number 407, declaration of surplus property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Lindsay, please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is guest matters from the public. Seeing none, we will move on. Matters of the commissioners. Anyone wishing to address or make any statements this evening? All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Next item on the agenda is Batavia Parks Foundation. The floor is yours.
With us tonight is Sarah Ryerson from the Batavia Parks Foundation.
Yes. Yes.
Batavia Access Television can pick up your...
Pull it up on the BATV.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for the opportunity to provide updates from the Batavia Parks Foundation. My name is Sarah Ryerson, and I'm proud to serve as the Batavia Parks Foundation Board Secretary. Headlining our report, the Peace on Earth campaign momentum continues, now reaching $44,965, or 90% to our $50,000 goal. We invite personal, corporate, and foundation year-end donations by check to the Batavia Parks Foundation that may be dropped off or mailed to 327 West Wilson Street at the Park District Civic Center. If you'd like to see our Peace on Earth campaign totals live, please visit us online at Rally Up page at bataviaparksfoundation.rallyup.com. The Peace on Earth Permanent Art Construction Team of Pat Callahan, Dennis Kintop, Josh Wyatt, Craig Faltolos, and Britta McKenna are making progress on the design and construction documents. The engineering design for the letters was wrapped up last week, and the electrical plan is scheduled to begin in mid-January, with partner Kluber Architects and Engineers, who have generously donated their design expertise as an in-kind donation. The team is still targeting a ribbon-cutting event at the second annual Batavia Peace Day on September 21st, 2023, as long as the review process moves quickly and materials are available. As 2022 is nearly closed, we want to reflect on a year of re-engagement as we all navigated the changes faced by a global pandemic. The Parks Foundation was back in the community through Pitchin' at the Parks events, participating in pop-ups at community events, pouring beer at Windmill City Fest, sponsoring the River Rap City Concert series, and raising funds related to the Peace on Earth project, while hosting Batavia's first ever Peace Day. Additionally, we are excited about our expanded board of 11 members, adding the talents of Batavia community members Katie O'Brien, Bryant Taylor, and Adam Thorne. What a difference a year can make. The Parks Foundation Board's second annual potluck and planning session to create our 2023 work plans was held this fall, and we look forward to sharing our exciting new proposals for the new year at your February board meeting. That wraps up our November-December update from the Batavia Parks Foundation. Thank you for your time and attention tonight. On behalf of the Batavia Parks Foundation, I want to wish the Batavia Park District, commissioners, and community a very happy holiday season and peace on earth in 2023.
Thanks, Sarah. Great update. Congratulations on getting that goal. Very, very close. That's awesome.
It's great to.
We could use a little more, though.
A little
We could use a
more,
little
yeah.
more. Couple more. A little more contingency.
89.93%, but I figured 90% was good enough.
That's
Right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming tonight. So next item on the agenda is our presentation, fiscal year 2023 annual budget, operating budget.
All right, Director Strumpf, he's ready to present.
So tonight, I'm just going to give a high-level overview of the 2023 budget, and I want to start off by saying thank you to the board members for their help and their continued support throughout the budget process, and thank you to all of staff as well. There's been multiple meetings between board and staff in developing the budget, and it's been a lot of hard work that everybody's put into it, so just want to say thank you to everybody. Where do I aim this at?
So I do want to say, I was about ready to
We
say.
should have rehearsed this.
I was about ready to say, I'm really impressed that he got that to work when Allison has it, but I'm not going to say that.
Welcome to my world. You're not alone.
May have to go slow.
So let's do this.
Yeah,
That's what I'm wondering because
Do you want me
it's.
to just manually?
My goodness. Didn't we even joke about this? We were like,
How is this
Isn't the
possible?
receiver on the computer?
Yes, the receiver's on the computer.
I think we might have
Should be on
ourselves. I don't
the- It should
know.
be on the computer, the receiver.
Oh, I wasn't in all the way. Try it. Yeah? I can manually up.
Okay.
All right.
We might need to add that to the budget.
You,
It'll work
you
tomorrow.
sure you got him?
Yep.
There you go. All right.
All right, so this slide shows a overview of our 2023 budgeted revenues. So on the far right column is the 2023 budget, and the total budgeted revenues for 2023 are approximately $11.9 million. And this slide highlights the expenses budgeted for 2023. Once again, it's the far right column that we want to focus on for 2023, and our total budgeted expenses for 2023 are $12.1 million. And this slide shows the budget and appropriations. The tentative budget and appropriations ordinance is on the agenda tonight for the board's approval. In the budget column, you'll see the $12.1 million of budgeted expenses for 2023, same as I just mentioned on the previous slide. And then to the right of the budget is the appropriation amount, which totals $13.3 million. And we calculate the appropriation amount by increasing the budget by 10% to get to our appropriation or our legal spending authority for 2023. And then this slide just highlights our change in fund balance for all of our funds. So we have in total a planned decrease in our fund balance of approximately $159,000. And you can see the corporate and the recreation funds do have decreases planned for 2023 And this is due to the transfers into our capital development program to fund our capital projects. And I also want to note that for financial reporting purposes, the quarry is combined with the recreation fund to get to the total recreation. So for the next steps, tonight, the board will be considering approval of the fiscal year 2023 annual operating budget, as well as approval of the tentative budget and appropriation ordinance. So the public hearing notice was published last Friday on December 16th. And then also on the agenda for tonight is the approval of the general obligation limited tax park bonds. And Aaron Gold from Spear Financial is here to talk about those and answer any questions. And then at the January 17th, 2023 board meeting will be the board's final approval of the budget and appropriation ordinance. And the public hearing will also be that night at 7 p.m.
Terrific.
So
Awesome.
that's it. Any questions?
No? I think we covered it the other night.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that together. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. We do have one email from the Batavia Public Library thanking Executive Director Niamela for participating in the holiday reading at the Celebration of Lights. So we will put that on file. And Debbie, we are at announcements, and we have a camera for it tonight, so.
Hello, Batavia. As part of our strategic plan, every 3 years, the Park District conducts a community survey to assess how individuals and families use our parks and facilities and to get their opinions on how we may continue to improve and grow our services in the future. Surveys were randomly mailed to 3,000 households within the Batavia Park District boundaries. If you did not receive a survey in the mail and would like to participate, please stay tuned to our website at bataviaparks.org to complete the survey online in the upcoming weeks. This month and next, keep an eye out for notices about ice skating on Depot Pond. 'Tis the season, and conditions are monitored daily. When the pond is frozen and open, conditions are monitored daily, and when the pond is frozen and closed, you will see a red flag. When it is open for skating, you'll see a green flag flown at the Riverwalk by the Depot Pond. We also will update our website at bataviaparks.org for Depot Pond conditions and openings. The Peg Bond Center again this year will be open as a warming house for skaters between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Next month, we'll also roll out our snowman building contest, which is free and officially begins on January 18th, National Snowman Day. Enjoy some frosty fun building a snowman or a snow creature at one of your favorite local parks or in your own yard, and share a photo of your creation. Find more information and contest rules at bataviaparks.org. Enjoy a happy, healthy holiday season and a joyful new year.
Thanks, Debbie. Next item on the agenda is staff reports. Allison, you want to?
Happy to kick us off. It's my great pleasure to announce that our Director of Finance, Brent Strumpf, has successfully completed the third out of the 4 exams for the CPA. So that's well on his way.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And he's modest and humble, so he won't mention it himself.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. I think I touched on all of my stuff during my previous presentation. I just want to remind the board and staff about the IAPD and IPRA state conference, which is January 26th through the 28th next year.
All right, Josh.
Yeah, just a quick announcement for me. We're welcoming back the Superintendent of Facility and Trades, January 9th, Jim Redmond. So he's been on a 9-month deployment to Djibouti, Africa. So yeah, happy to have him back and in the fold. So yeah, excellent. That's all I have.
So when they were building schools there, right? Was that one of the things?
I don't know if that's exactly what he was doing.
But that was like, some of it was like
There's a
helping
part.
the infrastructure and all that down there. A neighbor
Absolutely.
of mine actually was on that same deployment. So
Really?
that was, kudos to him for
Yeah.
that service. That was an awesome thing that they were doing down there.
Yeah, we're very excited to have him back, and it sounded like it was a pretty safe,
Yeah.
pretty safe deployment. So wasn't
And they
anything
were doing
crazy
good
that
works,
happened.
so, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
It is a great program. Director of Parks, Kim.
I just have one announcement. Just wanted to recognize Alex Macias, Superintendent of Parks, for passing the certified arborist test a couple weeks ago. So very excited to have an arborist on staff. That's it.
And Alex said the test was extremely difficult, and he never wants it to let the credits to lapse. So
Yeah.
we'll always do that.
Never mind.
He does not want to
Going
take it
through
again.
that
Do
again.
that, yeah. It's like practice.
One and done. Yep.
All right, Director of Community Recreation, Brittany.
Awesome. On behalf of the Activities Committee, we'd like to invite you guys and a guest to our staff recognition party on January 13th. We have an exciting new venue. It will be at Revelry 675 in Batavia. So we'll send out a
VFW.
We'll send out a formal invite to you guys, but I hope to see you there.
Thank
You
you.
would recognize it if you haven't stepped foot in there since it was owned by the VFW.
It looks,
amazing.
yeah.
Totally different, huh?
All right, Director of Marketing, Debbie.
All right. Well, for the annual conference that Brent mentioned, we will be submitting 4 award categories. So brochure, printed series, and a logo for Pints by the Pond, and the museum pamphlet that we recently did, and our short video that you saw on TikTok earlier this year, Bend and Snap. So it's exciting, and hope one of those or all of them will win at this.
I didn't know that.
They always sneak up on you. You gotta be careful with these people.
She's gonna second think that for award. When you ask her to do another one, she's gonna second
We're
think it.
submitting those for awards. We'll see what they
Oh my
choose in
gosh.
January. So we're excited, but happy holidays to all of you too.
Thank you. Same to you.
Sorry.
I knew. Prepared for that.
Stars in the video.
I think I'm out of that one, actually.
Yeah,
I think just Yep.
Just think, people statewide are gonna watch your video through the whole time.
It wasn't even Snap.
Yeah, they should play it on the big screen.
I would die. Awards lunch?
I think it's at the
Yeah.
Would you want to do you want to make any public disclaimers at this time or anything you'd like to share?
I had no practice time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we'll end staff reports on Lynn or Director of Talent.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I just wanted to do a follow-up from the last meeting, the special board meeting, when we discussed increasing the AM shift hourly rate wage. And I just want to let you know that it's worked. We're fully staffed. We had a couple returning college students who actually reached out to us to ask to work during January. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
And also with the lifeguards, the increase of the $17 an hour, we put an email out back on the 15th, and we've received probably about 60% to return for next season already, which we're really excited about.
Terrific.
It's only December.
Right?
$17 an hour has their attention.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. So I just wanted to give you an update on that.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Allison,
All right.
Executive Director.
Second Director's report, we'll see how this room works.
It should be working now. Every day.
It's amazing. Directional sensors like that.
Only
All right,
like
so it's
5
always a
people will see it.
pleasure
Like, watch. It's
to
great.
present to those of you in BATV land and to the board and staff to run through the year in review to see where we're going, and then in January we'll talk about the upcoming goals that we have that will be approved in our budget next month. Yes, it worked. Sorry, the magic worked for me. Next one over for you. So we kicked off in January at the state conference with awards. We had the blue ribbons for best category for the brochure series, for the fun guide, best in the state, yeah, mind you, and best logo or best large format marketing in the upper right hand corner with Hawkeye Beach. And then third place ribbon for best logo for Check the Duck.
So when we win for the video, we'll play that a year from now? So you know, hopefully the camera's here to play that,
Right.
so everybody in town can see it too.
Yeah, we'll have to invite the guys.
And then also, we really did kick off the year receiving a variety of awards. This was an honor that the Secretary of Defense gave to the Park District, again, for supporting Jim Redmond. And of course, Josh is also a veteran as well. And so for the Batavia Park District supporting those that are serving the country. And the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. So that we're going like 12 years strong on this. So that speaks volumes to the board's commitment to financial stewardship, as well as staff's commitment to making sure that we stay within our means. And we've not had any issues whatsoever with our audits, so no management notes, so we're in a good place. And then, as if the beginning of the year couldn't get any better, we ended up getting accolades for Windmill City Festival for the King County's one of the best in the area. So we celebrated that, did our happy dance. So it really was inspiring for us as we were planning for this last year's festival. And last but certainly not least, the Batavia Depot Museum ended up in King County Magazine as voted one of the best museum and cultural areas, the finest actually, not just one of the finest, the finest in the King County area. So we're super excited about that. This year we debuted. So actually, this is not the bend and snap.
Okay. Yep.
And second, let me play the video. So I will just move on, but we did enter the world of TikTok. So kudos to the marketing department for the video production. We also acquired 209 South River Street, the latest of our South River Street properties. So next year we're going to be doing an award of contract to demo that area. So again, super exciting. The family that used to live there wants to actually view the demo. They want to be a part of it. So, so we'll have them safely across the street viewing party. And then there's the Flag Day Memorial Monument groundbreaking ceremony. So that is supposed to take shape next spring. So we've been told for Windmill City Festival, when we plan, we need to plan around that area. So, so a year from now, it should be up and running. Clark Island, as you know, this was a lot of, there was a lot of discussion about this. It started off as a ninja course to replace, or to add an extra amenity to the Clark Island area and replace the skate and bike park. And then Commissioner Tillman was on our committee with staff. And then it really evolved into community input meetings, which turned into an actual master planning of that area. So we're super excited to bring a fitness court, and then the skate park. You can see the concrete pools. I don't know if that's the correct gesture. But then also the pump track. We've got concrete ribbons that will run circular for those folks, and then fishing stations, as well as winding trails. So we're excited to bring them. We'll find out this spring from Governor Pritzker when the grants are awarded. We also stood tall next to Highland Park in memory of those victims during the parade shooting. Our Windmill City Festival was just 3 days later, so I really want to thank the board and staff for the support that we got through Windmill City Festival. There were a lot of things we had to think through that we had never thought through before, and we thought we had it all covered prior to that, but it really shed a new light on it for us. So actually it's safer than ever now. We also updated signage throughout our parks and facilities. So we brought Jimmy B in to show him the plaque bearing his name. Super proud moment. We also were able to break ground on the Bliss Road realignment out at West Main Community Park. So here, President Callahan and I are with King County board members and Mayor Schelke, and then the Executive Director of King County Department of Transportation. We also had the neighborhood open house for Jones Meadow Park. I do feel like Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire, should start playing in the background because it's just nonstop. We had a busy year. We did, with the open house, we were able to communicate with the North Aurora residents in the subdivision about the plans that We've had the study that took place, and they were super happy to know that they're going to have a walking path that will no longer be flooded. The moms with the strollers, the dog walkers, the joggers are extremely happy about this project. So kudos to Kim Hansen for being the lead. Also, Pints by the Pond, it was our first craft beer festival. Sold out. We were extremely happy. It was a little heartbreaking. We had to turn people away that were there to purchase general admission tickets, but the people that were there really liked the size of the crowd. And we have plans to expand this upcoming year. We did a lot with roofs. So here's kind of before and after of the lodge at Laurelwood. And the Depot Museum, I just love this picture because it looks like the crane's actually picking up the museum. So we also have a fresh roof on this facility as well, which will help tremendously with insulation. And thanks to Josh Weinert for being the lead on the roofing projects. So we had to wait for materials for quite some time too. And Washington Park, the before and after. And I want to give Commissioner Gray kudos for bringing this up to the light. At one point, this wasn't on our radar, and she said, due to the proximity on Route 25, that so many people pass by, the visibility, proximity to schools, but also just the visibility right on the busiest street, that we needed to put this up in the CDB. Bill Elfstrom Memorial Greenway, we had that dedication not long ago, pre-snow.
It was cold that day.
And that's been a long time coming, but we were able to honor our friend and fellow Park Board Commissioner, Bill Elstrom. And the community needs assessment, so this kind of brings us full circle to today. As Debbie had mentioned in her announcements, we currently have the surveys in the hands of 3,000 random households, and within the first 7 days, we had 200 surveys returned.
Wow.
And apparently, the school district sent a survey on the same day that people received our surveys. So we might even get a better response because of that, because people are already sitting down at the kitchen tables answering those questions. So for the school and for now Park District.
We're well on the way to a significant survey as far as statistics. So 200 is a lot.
Yeah, especially 7 days. So we will be sending out, PROS is going to do a second batch of surveys, just reminding those folks that haven't answered to please respond and giving people a second chance. So yeah, I'm really excited. They say between 10 and 15% is a great response rate. And
Yeah.
I agree with that.
We're well on the way to that. Yeah.
Yep. And then, whoops, there's a picture that didn't quite show up on here, but we spent a lot of time reimagining 150 Houston, and that's really going to be the future of our capital development program. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Peace on Earth, because not only do we need it in our lives, but it's such a huge project, and the Parks Foundation has done a wonderful job fundraising, and Park Board and staff supporting the project as well, that now we're ready to move forward into the next year.
Awesome.
That's it. Good job.
Nice.
Well done. All right, that concludes the first half of the agenda. We have no old business, so we'll be going into new business. And the first item on the agenda is 15A, which is our 2023 annual operating budget. So I would entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023 budget as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Lindsay, please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You guys did all the hard work.
All right.
You made us stronger as a result.
There you go. So, in conjunction with that, then I would entertain a motion to make ordinance 408, fiscal year 2023 tentative budget and appropriations ordinance available for public inspection.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tim, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Lindsay, please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. So this one we might want to talk about a little bit, right?
Tonight we have our
Aaron
guest
Gold, yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Spear Financial's finest.
No, he's Batavia Park District's finest.
Right.
Happens to be
We
it.
sent him there after we made him the finest. Right.
I'm local.
He's local.
I am a little disappointed in myself. While I was sitting here, I was thinking that the one thing I love about your December meeting was Eric's caroling of his staff report. So I'm going to make a note next year that I'm going to carol this presentation.
So you have to wear the
Same
Santa
presentation I give every year.
hat. They were just talking, you have to wear the Santa hat that he used to wear
You know
in
what?
December too.
I'll call him up personally.
Yes.
We've got to spice this presentation.
You can carol while you give your.
Yeah, I got to prep. Yeah, singing random with the TV going.
That's a nice
It's a good
hat.
one.
That's a nice hat.
But good evening, everyone. Here to present the results of the sale of the district's annual rollover bond. This was issued as general obligation limited tax park bond series 2023. We held a competitive sale last Thursday where we received 3 bids, and the low bid was a 3.77% net interest cost from First Secure Bank, Sugar Grove, Illinois, with the second place bid being a 4.32% from BMO. So your annual rollover bonds issued as general obligation limited tax means general obligation, they're paid for by a direct property tax levy, but it's limited or constrained. First limit is how much of this type of debt the district can have outstanding in total, and the second constraint is referred to as the district's debt service extension base, and this is how much the district can levy each year to repay the principal and interest when due. So when you issue these bonds as annual rollover bonds, you're essentially filling that levying capacity to capture CPI growth. So the structure of this issue, we anticipate closing in 2 weeks on January 4th. It is less than 1 year long with the final maturity on November 1st, and the issue was resized to $758,080 to fully utilize that 2022 levying capacity available to the board. In total, this issue will generate $746,380 in new money to support the annual capital initiatives of the district. And it's always good to take a step back and take a look at what 3.77% means in the context of the overall rate environment that we find ourselves in. And obviously, this rate is substantially higher than last year. It's actually 329 basis points higher than your last year's rollover. But I do want to frame that in that over the same time, the 1 year treasury is up over 440 basis points. And I really attribute that success to there being a strong market, private placement market for these bonds right now. So I thought, given what the Fed is doing with short-term interest rates, we're still getting good bidding for the sale of these rollovers. And I think that's further evidenced by the gap between the first place bid and the second and third place bids received today. So we therefore recommend that the district's annual rollover bonds, general obligation limited tax park bond series 2023 be awarded to First Secure Community Bank, Sugar Grove, Illinois, at the revised price of $758,080 and a net interest cost of 3.77%. I'm going to have to start planning this carol very early on. I think I might have just bit off a little too much. Either way, if you have any questions at all about the process, I'd be more than happy to help.
I do. I just, since we have the camera here, we hear all this stuff about the Fed doing things with rates and all that. Whether it affects what we do here or not, can you just kind of expand on when people hear about this stuff happening with the economy, what does that do for us when we go out to issue bonds? If it doesn't do anything, fine. If it does, just a little brief thing so folks will know when they hear this how it affects their local community.
Absolutely. So this is a loan in nature, and what the Fed is doing right now is they're trying to slow down the money supply to combat inflation. And what that does is it forces banks to lend at higher interest rates because they don't want people borrowing as much. This being an annual process and a 1 year rollover, it's nice that you're not locked into high interest rates for a long period of time. But really what the Fed is doing is specifically to bring inflation back into what they deem to be a reasonable range. So they are trying to slow the economy down by doing that. And that does impact the local government's ability to go into the market and to raise capital to do that at higher interest rates. The one thing that's nice is talking with Brent and Allison and looking at your capital development plan moving forward is that you're going to use more of a pay-as-you-go approach and use this annual rollover process to really fund that initiative. And that really makes sense in this type of environment because we are seeing higher interest rates and we anticipate those to continue through next year as well.
Great, thank you very much for that.
Any other questions? So this is something that the Park District has been doing 15 years or more to fund our capital projects as part of the reason that the district has been able to refresh every park in our system. And then now we're working on the next round of improvements based on age and going back to the first few that we did. So it's been leveraged as a way to live within our means, but more importantly to ensure that we're taking care of what we have. And when we have an opportunity to get new park inventory, whether it's a new development or new properties, and also improve, not unlike the path that was underwater, the things that we need to do to make the system usable for our patrons. This is the mechanism that we've chosen to use to do so, and it's worked very well for both the Park District and the community. One thing I'll say about interest rates at 3.77, if someone went out to get an interest or a loan today to buy a new home, that would be an outstanding rate. So, we would like to see the rates be lower as they have been in the past, but all things considered, there's a few of us sitting at this table here that remember interest rates that were in the 18% range. So this is very reasonable.
I'm glad you're comfortable with it. This is the first real market shock that I've handled in Spears, so I'm sitting over here like,
It's like coming home, Eric.
I actually thought it was going to be a lot higher, which is part of the question that I was asking about what the feds are doing is it is surprising to see something in the 3 range period.
and
So
then the other interesting thing is they talk about yield curve inversion, and what we see is interest rates on the short end are higher than what they are on the long end. So it's actually cheaper to go out long with your debt issuance than it is on the short end. But in this case, the district doesn't have the need to do that with this rollover bond process. So.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for coming out tonight.
We are in year 2 of the 3-year issuance.
Yes.
Very good. Happy holidays, everyone.
you take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, so I would then entertain a motion. Entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 409, providing for the issue of $758,080 of general obligation limited tax park bond series 2023 of the district for the payment of land for parks, for the building, maintaining, improving, and protecting of the same, and the existing land and facilities of the park, or of the district, and for the payment of the expenses incident thereto. I used you attorneys, man. Providing for the levy of a direct annual tax to pay the principal and interest on the bonds, and authorizing the sale of the bonds to the purchaser thereof as presented.
So moved.
I want to hear it again. Second.
Not bad for a dry read, though.
Thank you. All right, so motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Lindsay, please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. All right. Thanks, Aaron.
See ya.
So, this is a ordinance regarding our annual meetings.
Yes.
So then I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 289, fiscal year 2023 regular board meeting schedule as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion?
I do want to make one note, and that is that the November 21st board meeting does fall on the week of Thanksgiving, so I don't know if you want to move it up a week.
I was going to say the same thing about the December one, in that how,
This is hard, this is really close, yeah.
right, both of them are kind of close, and so,
Can we approve this and then make the adjustments
yeah.
to the meeting?
We can do that on the fly, right? I mean, can we do that later on?
Yes.
Yeah,
And August, because it was the night before school.
yeah, that's cool. So moved.
Okay, motion by Tillman,
A second.
second by Gray.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries.
Would you like the date set for the week prior, the Tuesday prior, or the?
No, I'm thinking like I would have preferred this one to be last week.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
fine,
saying?
yeah.
Like-
Yeah, so the
And
week
like,
right, the
so
week
next year,
before.
like, let's throw it, not the week of the holiday, but like the week before.
Early?
Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking, but does everybody else agree with that?
November and December?
It doesn't matter.
It's because you never take any holidays. Yeah.
The thing, I mean, yeah, this one is,
Or no, it
would be nice.
November and
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, our last, well, not last item, but our next item on the agenda is our executive session, but I want to make some explanation here. So, we will be going into executive session to discuss two matters, leasing, property, and land acquisition, as well as our semi-annual review of executive session meeting minutes, which is our opportunity to review meeting minutes that are closed, whether we will accept the recommendation or release any meeting minutes, and that is the only action item that will be coming back before the board after executive session is the action on the semi-annual review of the executive session meeting minutes. Correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So I'd entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss leasing, property, and land acquisition, 2C5, and semi-annual review of the executive session meeting minutes, 2C21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
So moved.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we are going into executive session, and we will have one action item when we return. All right, so we are back in open session, and we have one action item to deal with after our executive session. That is, I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 290, a resolution regarding the release of closed session minutes and authorizing the destruction of audio and/or video recordings of certain executive sessions as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Lindsay, please call the roll.
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Callahan?
Aye, motion carries. So I just have one item. I will be sending out to the board Allison's annual review. I will do that electronically over the next week or so we can get that all dealt with. I should have done it in September.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything if you're actually going to do it, but, I'll wait for it. I'll wait for
And then next one, they'll be like, oh, yeah.
How about if I get them back?
Sorry. Yeah, right. No promises getting them back.
All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, see?
Yes, whatever.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.